The crown jewel of Vajrayana, the journey of Vajrayana has led us from the foundations of refuge and in-grow, through the vibrant world of deity, yoga, mantra, and subtle body practices. We arrive at the crown jewel, the supreme teachings that reveal mind's true nature directly. These are known as Mahamudra, the Great Seal, and Dzogchen, the Great Perfection. If Engendro is the foundation and deity yoga the path, Mahamudra and Dzogchen are the summit, the unshakable recognition of what has always been present, the luminous, empty awareness that is the essence of every being. Mahamudra, the Great Seal. The word Mahamudra means Great Seal, implying that all phenomena are sealed with the mark of emptiness. Nothing exists independently. Everything arises interdependently, like reflections in a mirror. To recognize this is to see reality as it truly is. Mahamudra has two aspects. Mahamudra as view, all appearances, from the vast cosmos to fleeting thoughts, are empty and luminous, inseparable like the sun and its rays. Mahamudra as practice, to rest the mind in its own nature, without grasping or rejecting, without altering or fabricating. The practice unfolds in stages: calm, abiding shamatha, stabilizing the mind through attention to breath, body, or visualization; insight, vipassana, investigating the mind itself. Where do thoughts come from? Where do they dwell? Where do they go? Discovering they are ungraspable, like mist. Direct recognition. The teacher points out the mind's nature, empty, clear, and aware. The student recognizes it directly. From then on, the practice is simply to rest in that recognition, again and again, until it becomes continuous. Mahamudra is sometimes described as the meditation of non-meditation. It is not an effort to fabricate a state, but the recognition of what is already so. Dzogchen, the Great Perfection. If Mahamudra is the Great Seal, Dzogchen is the Great Perfection, the recognition that everything is already complete, perfect and pure from the very beginning. Dzogchen teachings emphasize the direct introduction to Rigpa, the primordial awareness beyond duality. This awareness is not something to be created or attained. It is always present, like the sun shining behind clouds. The teacher points it out, and the student learns to rest in it without distraction or grasping. Dzogchen distinguishes between sem, the ordinary, conceptual mind, full of thoughts, judgments, and emotions; Rigpa, the pure awareness, luminous and empty, beyond duality, timeless and unchanging. The practice of Dzogchen is to remain in Rigpa, whether in meditation or daily life. Thoughts and emotions are not obstacles, but self-liberating displays like snowflakes melting in water. The union of bliss and emptiness. Both Mahamudra and Dzogchen emphasize the inseparability of bliss and emptiness, clarity and emptiness, awareness and emptiness. These are not pairs, but unions, two aspects of one reality. Bliss arises through subtle body practices, uniting energy and awareness. Emptiness is recognized through direct insight into mind's nature. Together, they reveal the great union, beyond grasping. This union is said to be the very body of a Buddha. Phao, consciousness, at the moment of death. Another supreme practice of Vajrayana is Phawa, the transfer of consciousness at the time of death. Practitioners learn to direct their awareness through the crown of the head into the pure realm of a Buddha, such as Amitabha's Duhokan Sukhavati, often ensures that death, often feared as an ending, becomes a gateway to liberation. It is said that even those who have not practiced much during life can attain liberation through Apha, if performed at the time of death by a realized master. The Bardo teachings. Navigating the in-between. Closely related are the teachings on the Bardo. It's the intermediate state between death and rebirth. The Bardo Thidal, known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, describes luminous visions, deities, and lights that appear in the Bardo. If recognized as mind's own display, these visions become gateways to liberation. If misunderstood, they lead to fear and rebirth. Thus, training in Bardo Yoga prepares practitioners to face death with awareness and courage. Enlightenment in this very life. The radical promise of Vajrayana is that enlightenment is not a distant goal across countless lifetimes. Through the supreme practices of Mahamudra, Dzogchen, and the completion stage yogas, realization can occur here and now, in this very body, in this very life. Great masters have testified to this. Talipa, after decades of wandering and practice, declared, "The mind, free of clinging, is Mahamudra. Without it, all practice is bondage. With it, all life is liberation." Padmasambhava proclaimed, "The mind itself is already the Buddha. Recognize this, and you are free." The role of the teacher at the summit, even here, at the highest levels, the role of the teacher remains essential. Mahamudra and Dzogchen are not learned from books alone. They are transmitted directly from master to disciple, in a living lineage. A single word, a single gesture, can awaken recognition more than years of study. Thus, devotion and trust remain as crucial at the summit as at the foundation. Integration into daily life supreme practices do not remove one from the world. They reveal the world's sacredness. After meditation, one rises and eats, works, speaks, loves, but everything is suffused with awareness. Anger becomes mirror-like wisdom. Desire becomes discriminating awareness. Confusion becomes the ground of spacious clarity. The ordinary is seen as extraordinary. Every moment is the Mandala. Every encounter is with a Buddha. Every sound is mantra. Stories of the great adepts. History is filled with stories of masters who embodied realization through Mahamudra and Dzogchen. Milarepa, Tibet's great yogi, practiced with such intensity that he attained full realization in a single lifetime after a youth of wrongdoing and remorse. His songs, filled with joy and wisdom, still echoed today. Longjenpa, master of Dzogchen, wrote texts so luminous that they are called treasuries, summarizing the entire path in words like poetry. Naropa and Tilipa, wandering ascetics of India, transmitted the heart of Mahamudra through songs and symbolic acts, rather than scholarly debate. Their lives remind us, realization is not confined to monasteries or rituals. It shines wherever mind recognizes its own nature, supreme fruit, Buddhahood. The fruit of Vajrayana through these supreme practices is not escape from the world, but the full flowering of Buddhahood, omniscient wisdom, boundless compassion, and fearless activity. In Mahamudra and Dzogchen, this fruit is seen not as something to be attained, but as something already present. Just as clouds cannot stain the sky, delusions cannot taint awareness. Realization is simply recognizing what has always been so. With Mahamudra and Dzogchen, the Vajrayana path reaches its summit. From Jagandra's prostrations to deity yoga's mandalas, from mantra's vibrations to subtle body's fire, every step has been leading here, the recognition of mind's true nature, luminous, empty, and free. This is the diamond path, the swift, powerful, transformative way of Vajrayana Buddhism. It is both secret and open, profound and simple, ancient and timeless. It is not somewhere else. It is this very moment, recognized. As the masters say, the ordinary mind is the Buddha. Recognize it, and you are free.